When you're doing Screencastify, you get this toolbar over here if you've selected that from the drop-down menu initially. And there's ways that you can use these tools without having the toolbar here. So if this is distracting, or if, for example, you're trying to show something like a button that's down here that's not visible, you can always hide your toolbar just by, if you hover, it'll remind you of what the commands are, but the shortcut is Alt-T on my keyboard and it disappears. And then when that's gone, I can still utilize the tools. I just have to know the commands. So if I press Alt P, I can turn my cursor into the pen and draw on my screen. If I press Alt E, I can turn it into the eraser. If I want to delete everything on the page, I would press Alt Z. Again, if I want to go back to my mouse or my cursor, I would press Alt M. And then, oh, one other thing is if you are in the pen mode and you press Alt P, you can actually use your up and down arrow keys to increase or decrease the thickness of your pen. So just on your keyboard, whatever up or down, if you want it to be thinner or thicker, you can kind of see, I don't know if you can tell that that little circle is getting bigger and smaller when I'm pressing this up and down key on my keyboard. So that's just in case you're like wanting to write something smaller or highlight an entire area. But for the eraser, Alt E, you can do the same thing. It's just, I think, faster if you're trying to erase the whole screen by pressing Alt Z. And then Alt T gets me back to my toolbar. And again, you can hover over any of those things if you're trying to remember what they were. Or you can go into this button for the Screencastify itself, and you can actually see over here, if you go in your menu area that says something about like options or maybe customization or something, you can, some of them are preset like these, you can't change. But there's other things like to start and stop a recording, you press Shift Alt P to pause. So right now, if I wanted to pause this for a second, I would just push those three buttons. When I'm ready to restart, I pushed again, Shift Alt P. I don't have to click anything. I don't have to go up here. And that's, if you're done with your presentation, it's also quicker in terms of not making the person watch you click up here while you're pushing pause or stop. But if you wanted, you could change those commands. There's an option in there for you to click and it opens up the tab to your extensions, what your shortcuts are set for all of your different Chrome extensions. So again, right now I'm done, so I can push Control Alt P to pause and then press the stop button, or I can press Shift Alt P to pause, or I can press Shift Alt R to stop the recording entirely.